Analysts were broadly negative on Genting Malaysia after it announced on September 11th that its indirect wholly owned subsidiary Genting ER is subscribing for an additional $150 million of preferred stock in 49% owned US-based associate Empire Resorts. CGS-CIMB disapproved of the development because Empire, which runs Resorts World Catskills Casino in New York, is forecasted to be loss-making over the next 5 years. While it understands the rationale, post-completion, Genting Malaysia's share of Empire losses will rise from 49% to 57%, lowering its FY21-22 core EPS by 2.9 to 5.5%. HLIB analyst Andrew Lim-Keun-Wen said the House is slightly negative on the near-term impact of the news on Genting Malaysia due to the need for further financing required by Empire. Explaining the rationale, Genting Malaysia pointed out that the US gaming industry had been severely impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, resulting in a severe impact on its liquidity. Genting Malaysia ended the day 2.71% down at RM2.15. Datin Seri Rosmah Mansor's former aide, Datuk Rizal Mansor, admitted in High Court today that he had personally received close to $1 million from Jepak Holdings' former MD, Saidi Abang Samsudin. Saidi had also sponsored an Umrah pilgrimage Rizal and his family had taken in 2016. Rizal admitted that he did not tell the MACC about the money and sponsorship when they took his statement. The witness also testified that he had tried to solicit 100,000 ringgit from Saidi for Dato' Ahmed Farid Zainul Abidin, who was the 9th prosecution witness in Rosmah's graft trial. Ahmed Farid had accompanied Rizal to deliver bags of cash to the PM's official residence in Putrajaya. To recap, Rosmah is being accused of soliciting 187.5 million from Jepak to help the firm secure a 1.25 billion ringgit project to supply solar hybrid power to 369 schools in Sarawak. RAKUTEN expects the FBM KLCI to trade higher going forward and forecasted it to end 2020 at 1,580 points. The FBM KLCI closed 6.51 points up today at 1,511.36. RAKUTEN head of research Kenny Yee says the rubber glove sector will continue to be in the limelight as the world remains shrouded in COVID-19 fears. He adds that the rubber glove fever, coupled with the low interest regime and sudden surge of interest in equity trading among the younger generations, has also enhanced the liquidity in the stock market. Retail investors hit its highest inflow this year so far in the month of July, with 2.05 billion flowing into the equity market, up from 1.25 billion recorded in June. He also thinks that the expiry of the 6-month loan moratorium would not have a major impact on the market, as he expects the retailers to continue to drive momentum. Rotational play is also expected to continue, and aside from rubber gloves, Yi is also positive on the construction and plantation sectors, providing support to the bourse. Genting Malaysia saw its second quarter FY21 net profit drop by 21% to 8.7 million, mostly due to its construction segment experiencing closures during the MCO. Revenue likewise dropped, declining 28% to 70.2 million, compared with 97.7 million the year before. On a positive note, Genting kept taking orders for its water meters during the MCO, which it fulfilled when it resumed operations from May 4th. It declared an interim dividend of 1 cent per share. For the first half of FY21, net profit almost halved to 12.5 million, while top line dropped 39% to 109.5 million from 180.5 million ringgit registered last year. Despite the softer numbers, Group Chairman Tan Sri Tan Kee Hock says Genting remains optimistic of its prospects given its plans to be a one-stop purveyor of water meters by growing its product portfolio and engaging in partnerships. Former Malaysia Airports Holdings CEO Raja Azmi Raja Nazuddin has been appointed as COO of the Malaysian Aviation Commission. He starts work tomorrow. Raja Azmi replaced Azmir Zain, who had previously indicated his move to leave the commission to pursue other interests. Azmir had been MAVCOM CEO since its inception back in 2016. Raja Azmi has served as MAHB CEO from January 4, 2019 to January 6, 2020 and had previously been the airport operator's chief financial officer. The government is in the midst of dissolving MAVCOM and transferring its functions to the Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia.